En enero Joche se cogió un mochuelo en la montaña de María y me lo regaló nomás para la novia mía. Ay, en enero Joche se cogió, en enero Joche se cogió un mochuelo en las montañas de María y me lo regaló nomás para la novia mía.
Yes, it does seem that Carl knows what he's doing.
Say no more.
Say no more.
Oh, lovely afternoon, yeah?
Yeah. The rain just cooled us off a little.
Well, I just put that bog remover on the legs. That's okay. I won't be getting bitten.
Right.
That's grand. It is the time that the insects come out.
Did you get that malnourished dog?
Oh, I'm sure you did.
So guys, would you tell me a little bit about how you guys met and how you became friends? What's the story?
I was zooming along through Chapinero Lourdes Park in front of the church. And I spotted this kind of big dopey looking gringo with a St. Patrick's Day shirt on him. Patrick's Day,
Amor, tráeme la camiseta verde, por favor.
Anyway, a big St. Patrick's
San
Day.
Patricio.
And as I went
Es
by,
una parte de la historia que está contando. Gracias.
so I spotted really, I saw a big gringo with St. Patrick's Day. Me being Irish, being in South America for 25 years or whatever, over 20 years, to see St. Patrick's Day, anything is kind of, you know.
You don't see it every day.
Yeah, you know.
You don't see it every
So
month.
I kind of said, hey, hello to him, and he kind of ignored me.
I actually have the shirt. I have the shirt
He
with me.
ignored
I just have it by coincidence. It's one of my favorite shirts. There we go. Got it from Old Shillelagh in downtown Detroit. That was it.
In actual fact, I thought it was it had a hood. I thought it was like a, what do you call those?
Hoodies?
The hood. And,
No, I wear those a lot, but not that day.
anyway, this is what I saw, and he kind of ignored me. Look at this cunt.
Want me to take over?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I had like 2 or 3 months in town, all right? And I had just spent a year in Arequipa, Peru. And most of that time I was living in Caima, which is a nice section of a small town. Arequipa, 1 million people. So it's the nice part. And Peru and Colombia are just, they have a lot in common, but they also have just a lot of contrast. And one thing that is very different is the safety of the streets. Lima has a lot of nasty parts and a lot of nasty things happen in downtown Arequipa, no doubt. But, I mean, Colombia is just a whole nother, is another world. Yeah, this is fucking hard. And when I got to like the center in Chapinero, I had an apartment on 61. I mean, you could just watch the crackheads from the window. And I mean, just imagine in my mind. I thought I knew Latin America from living in Caima, Arequipa, and then going to 61, just south of Lourdes, crackhead
Territory.
Crackhead stomping ground, and other things like just the bombs, the aggressiveness of them, and how much they bother you. And there were gringos doing it too, you know. I mean, they weren't just Colombians asking for money. There were.
Oh, you get those.
You get these gringos that come down here and get strung out on coke, and they'll go begging on the tourists. And then there are deported Colombians. There's a shitload of native English-speaking bums in Colombia, Bogota at least.
Yeah.
I don't think I met any in Medellin, maybe. I'm sure there are everywhere, but especially in downtown Bogota and the touristic areas of Bogota, there are native English-speaking beggars hustling tourists for crack, for change to go buy crack with. And so just here, I mean, in Peru, if somebody had spoken English to me, I'd totally give them all my attention and just fucking sit down. Oh, yeah, so what are you doing down here? But it was I was at the 3 months point in Bogota, and I'd already met several crackheads, and it was in Lourdes. So this guy's gonna ask for money, and oh wait, slow down a minute. And then I just took a little bit of a better look at him, and he had a bicycle, and you know he had he was presentable, and he had this little dorky thing. He doesn't have this little necklace thing that he puts his phone anymore, but he just had a bunch of shit a crackhead wouldn't have. You know what I mean? A crackhead would have sold, and he just had a lot of these things. Okay, this guy's got some things. And he said, so then what is it? What is it now? St. Patrick's Day, Old Shillelagh, what's that? What's that? And it just turns out he's Irish, so we get to talk in a minute. And he goes, how'd you like to go for some tea? Some tea? And, you know, I don't know why he said tea. You know, you can't really find tea in Bogota, but I think he was just trying to connect with another gringo, besides the fact that I'm American, and Americans don't really drink tea. But he saw the Irish t-shirt, so let's go have a tea. Which, okay, let's go around the corner, and it turned into coffee. And really quickly, I don't know why, I think just people who are into really hard partying lifestyles and into maybe a few sketchy activities, that kind of stuff comes out really quick. You just kind of sense when you're amongst each other.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, I mean, the coffee might not even been served, and we had both already known that after a year of really hard partying in Peru, like really some out of control stuff, really putting myself in some dangerous situations. And then I saw the nature of the Bogota streets, and I heard about the Escapolamina. I just thought, these Colombians are going to fucking turn me out. I need to quit drinking. And I quit drinking. And I was actually occasionally going to AA. And Christopher, I don't know, it came up really quick, didn't it? And Christopher said, I'm a horrible alcoholic. I've had the DTs, I've had all that, and I haven't had a drink for a year. I'm going to AA too. I think we just kind of hit it off from there, didn't we?
Started drinking.
No, it was a long time before we drank.
It was a good while before we had to drink that.
The next thing that came up was you started just telling stories, like you do, you know, just, oh, this guy over here, he's a fucking horrible killer. This one time I saw him, you know, he was sitting next to another drunk right there in Lourdes, and he said something he didn't like, and he just stabbed him in the leg like that. Or he'd go on with these stories like that, or things that he had done. Like, you know, I'd been locked up in La Modelo, and I had to kill somebody. And I'd go, you know what, man? My blog is kind of like a really sensational sex, violence, drugs, crime. I mean, that's kind of my forte. And now that I'm sober, I'm not going to be doing any of that stuff for life. At that point, you know, summer 2009, I truly believed I was going to be sober for life and not do any of that stuff. So I said, but you know what? I can write your stories. So I'll still have the same kind of content, but third person. So I can still be the writer of that stuff. They'll just be your stories. And Christopher said, yeah, wow, somebody can write about me and I'll get all this attention. No, he was willing. He was like, yeah, I think, you know, I do have a good story to tell. And so he was willing to do it. And so we started, I guess we exchanged numbers and decided to, okay, we'll meet for lunch once in a while and you can tell me a story and I'll write it. And little by little, the gravity of the story, it wasn't even just specifically storytelling, it would just get into more just having coffee and also hustling English. And Christopher really was the guy who showed me Bogota. I didn't know a soul. It wasn't like Peru, where I had a job lined up, a basketball team, the university organization was showing me around. I mean, I had somebody to hold my hand for everything. In Bogota, I didn't know not one person. I just went there because I thought it was a good market. Growth opportunity with the new security and all that, and I visited and it was really developed and just a beautiful place that I thought was really ignored economically up until then. So I just moved there and figured I'd make it on my own. So there's a lot of things you got to learn in getting down a new city, especially in another country, you know. Especially if you don't have a good job making a ton of money, you can't go shopping in Caruja, you know. So Christopher really helped me get settled in Bogota there, and in the times just hanging out, having lunches, having coffees, and hearing casual stories here and there, I came to the opinion that his life really is worth more than a few blog articles, 4 or 5 stories. I mean, this could be an entire book, and the book, I mean, it depends how well I can write it, depends how honest you can be with me, and the ugliest stuff of your life, the most scandalous stuff of your life. But and if I write it well, if we both do both really well, I think it'd be good enough to make a movie. I mean, it's just really fascinating story.